on this channel because apparently the only channel I can live stream on without meeting the 1K subscriber requirement is this specific channel. Which doesn't make any sense because I have 56 subscribers on the RL Spooks channel. But I'm just going to have to live stream this here and then link it to the RL Spooks channel, and then people can access it through a playlist. Because apparently that's what God intended. So, and He has everything to do with this podcast. Okay. All right. Great start. But yeah, fun of technical difficulties. What can I say? Speaking of technical difficulties, it's a good idea to check on the first podcast to see if it's actually all right. Beautiful. Look at how beautiful that is. So today I'm going to talk about something. That something is not any particular book or movie, but more so the idea behind the book or the movie or the TV show episode. And today we're going to be focusing on Shocker on Shock Street because, well, it just happens to be the last book I have read recently of the Goosebumps series. And this podcast is something I've done several times. I actually, when I first started this, had a co-host, but now I'm just doing this on my own. Created this nifty little backdrop here. Slappy's hanging out on the, whatever the heck that thing is called. But, yeah, so, Shocker on Shock Street. I'm just gonna read you the way R.L. Stine describes it. Actually, the way the reissued version describes it. Best friends Aaron and Marty love the scary Shock Street horror films, so they are anticipating the thrill of a lifetime when they visit the Shock Street theme park. But the thrills turn into a chill when they get stuck on a ride and are attacked by terrifying giant bugs. Will they ever get out? So basically the concept behind this is it's a theme park based on movies, based on horror, which is a cool concept. It has been reissued several times in book form and has an appearance in the Goosebumps movie and is an episode itself through the TV show, which is actually a pretty good episode. Is it like the book? I don't know. I would say the graphic novel, if you've got it, is a better representation of the story, and you can get that in black and white or you can get that in color, whichever poison you prefer. I don't know. This channel's at, not this channel, but the one that I'm making this video for is at 56 subs. It always seems to do really, really well. We're at over 14,000 views on my montage. That always does well. Actually, I used to have quite a bit of subscribers before I took the original channel down. And that's when I was most popular on YouTube, but I'm not even going to get into that whole thing again. This is about this particular story to start the first episode of what is going to be a very enthusiastic podcast, just in time for the October season, Halloween Horror Nights, and all this stuff I'll never get to do because I'll never have the money. So what do I think about the concept of a horror movie themed amusement park. I think that's Universal Studios on Halloween Horror Nights, like it just said. That's basically what it is. You've got a bunch of different scare actors, scare zones, and things set up all around the place with the roller coasters and whatever else to make it look like a scary amusement park. Knott's Berry Farm is also known as Knott's Scary Farm during the October season, and they do that as well. Uh, with Disney, you have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party slash Parade, and then you have the Boo at the Zoo kind of events that zoos typically do during the October season. So this concept isn't really something too, out there. It's definitely possible. But the way it's executed, and these with the animatronics, seems to take it to a much further and more extreme level than you would with the amusement parks, to where it can actually be dangerous. And then the story, spoiler alert, kind of, well, I guess I won't spoil it, but anyways, two kids are sent into this amusement park to test it out and make sure it's safe for other people who will take the tram car ride through Shock Studios, Shocker Studios amusement park, because it's a tram tour, kind of like the earthquake ride at Universal, I guess, or how they kind of have the new King Kong ride. But you definitely don't want to get out of the tram car, as we've seen in the television episode and the book, or you just might get a giant praying mantis claw shoved right up your hopes and dreams of having a safe amusement park tour ride. So I really like the concept and idea behind the book. I really like the original artwork, and I really like the second artwork for the book. And I love the graphic novels interpretation of the book, and how it doesn't stray too far from the original story like the TV show episodes, because a lot of these TV show episodes had to be cut, and they didn't have much of a budget to go extreme, and that's probably a good thing after seeing what the Goosebumps movie did when that came out. There was just way too much CGI, and now we've got a third movie incoming. We've got all these tin box sets. We got a new Goosebumps television show coming whenever, and what episodes will we see then? Who knows? Or maybe they'll make the mistake of following the storyline with the Goosebumps movies and just keep throwing that, rehashing that over and over again. I really hope they don't do that. But anyways, I think it's a good idea. Also, if you note the upper right corner, it's kind of funny. I've actually been to Jefferson City, where the P.O. box for the fan club for Scholastic, where you could send in stuff, wherever that fan club took place, I've been there. Maybe not to that specific location, like I haven't been to the P.O. box or the post office holding the P.O. box, but I've been to Jefferson City, so for different reasons. I wasn't there for Goosebumps. Anyways, I think this is going great, guys. I really do. And I think that all 56 of you following this channel, pledging your allegiance, I think you would agree. I should probably keep my finger off the phone when I'm doing this podcast, because it doesn't make it easy for me to maintain this image when I'm getting trigger happy with my finger. What the hell that means, I don't know. And note that I never said that this was for audiences 12 and under. It is for all audiences of all ages, in the womb, and 100 plus audiences as well. So I just hope that this is what you guys wanted after all these years of me going back and forth, trying to resurrect the channel and sitting on 100 plus videos of content that I created that, became very popular, and I had to delete it for personal reasons. But this is it. This is our prime, guys. And if we don't respect the old ways of YouTube, then we have lost sight of what truly matters within our hearts. So, and with October coming up, we can't do that, We can't have another garbage October. We just can't do that. So, everybody band together, grab your 25 anniversary year collector's tins, open them up, grab your favorite Goosebumps books or Fear Street books or Nightmare Room, Haunting Hour, whatever. Grab your significant other in an appropriate way. I don't know where the stream's going. Just, but seriously, start reading right now. It's in order. And I would suggest Why I'm Afraid of Bees, so you can learn about science and biology at the same time. So that way you can understand why a praying mantis would become the size of a street and then walk on that street and become what would be the illustration for the book Shocker on Shock Street. And then you have to ask yourself, why is the ghost from Ghost Beach floating to the right of the praying mantis, and why is Slappy sitting on the stoplight? Who knows? I mean, Jack Black was able to gather all of the Goosebumps characters together, so I just figured I could do the same thing because we have the same amount of money, the same amount of fame, Our discography, Tenacious D, Brendan, I think that we have an equal amount of love and support in that department as well. But yeah, I think that if you have a Netflix subscription, that's your best chance of watching Shocker on Shock Street or any Goosebumps episode, unless you can get a region-free copy of the complete season, or you can buy the overpriced individual DVDs that come with 3 or 4 episodes. I actually went to a thrift shop, so I actually own It Came From Beneath the Sink, and then another episode. It might even be Shocker on Shock Street on DVD. One of those 2-pack specials with the Scholastic second or third reprint of the book. What we're looking at here, I think, is the third reprint. But what they sell is the 4th reprint with the Now a Frightful Film, which is the one you would most likely get if you bought the box set. Or you can buy it without that. And it's not a sticker, it's permanent. So it's like a tattoo. Once you get it, you're stuck with it. How long has this podcast been going? 14 minutes? Gosh dang. Now, these things used to go for over an hour. Of course, I had somebody else I was doing this with, so it was a lot easier to go back and forth, when I'm doing this on my own. it's a little more difficult. So you should definitely feel sorry for me, create some sort of website, and then donate a substantial amount of money to me because, I mean, why not? It makes perfect sense in this kind of scenario. That way we can afford a real studio like the one that they used to film the Goosebumps series and Shock Street. And then we can actually make Shock Street and make a giant praying mantis that will function um, as half biology and half genetic engineering, creating a super clone. It's all about physics, you know. Physics. So I keep doing that. If you watch any of my other content, you'll know that I've recently become a clapper. I just coined the term right now. I don't know what that means. It just means I just clap my hands randomly together. I don't know. Fun fact: I was organizing all my Goosebump books, and I dropped my purple collector's tin and dented it. So that's something interesting. My favorite book is The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. And favorite episode is probably The Haunted Mask 2 in terms of fear, in terms of love and emotion. I would say Attack of the Mutant is probably where my heart lies. I haven't finished reading all of the Horrorland series, but my favorite particular series is the Most Wanted series. If you branch out from the original series, my favorite Series 2000 book is Return to Horrorland. Favorite cover is probably I want to say maybe The Beast from the East. No, I think it'd be Why I'm Afraid of Bees. Why I'm Afraid of Bees is actually hailed in the art community as being trendy. So that's a fun fact. Or you might call it hip, which is a genre of people as well. So if ever in a coffee shop and you see a half human, half bee hybrid, you could probably link that back to all the love and support that people have shown the Why I'm Afraid of Bees book. In other news, Netflix, if you haven't seen the Dracula TV show, it's 3 parts, 3 episodes. I highly recommend that. It's pretty good. I also got the 3 Fear Street movies now, but I've only seen most of the first one. Problem is that I kind of want to read the books, and I haven't done that. So, at least 1 or 2 of them. And I get the vibe that Fear Street's kind of supposed to be funny or something. I don't know. And let's see. The new movies that they got going on here. Oh, yeah. Oh, American Horror Stories just completed their run of 8 episodes, I believe. Only one of those episodes is actually good. The Bigfoot one was okay. And the 3 Murder House ones were decent. The problem is that 3 episodes out of 8 episodes dedicated to the same thing kind of feels like a waste of time, and all the other episodes are garbage. Um, A classic horror story. Haven't seen that one yet, but apparently it's a tale about traveling to southern Italy to become stranded in the woods and fight for your life. So it's your kind of thing. There you go. I'm not going to go over the top 10 in the US today because it'd be a waste of time. Um, Santa Clarita Diet hasn't come out with a new season. So that's an interesting find. Stranger Things is still working on its fourth season, I guess. Whatever's taking them so long, I don't know. Ratchet will probably never see a second season, even though it was successful. Ash vs. Evil Dead will probably never see a fourth season. Aftermath looks interesting. American Horror Stories 10th season double feature looks like it's going to be pretty good. And The Walking Dead has new episodes, and I think that completes the entire series at 15 seasons. Either that or I'm thinking of Supernatural, because that's at 15 seasons. And of course, you got your other TV shows that you know and love. And Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is okay. Nothing too special. But The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2 are both on Netflix, and they're definitely worth the watch if you haven't seen them. I like the second one better than the first one, mostly because I didn't pay attention during the first one, but I like the idea behind the second one better. And I'm not here to recommend YouTube channels, but since you asked, practically begged me actually, I'm going to recommend a couple, starting with hold on a second because I actually have to find them first. Let's start with Nerd Explains, because he's been doing a lot of survival videos related to horror movies, and he's quite a humorous gentleman. And if you want to see some of my old haunted house videos, you can search up October Frights. So there's that guy. Also, I have one part which has 98 views of one commentary I did for Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Also, Vault 123 just produced another child. So, oh wait, sorry, that's Fallout. Never mind. It's my other channel. CZ's World is pretty good, although I haven't watched his last few videos. But he's got one about the latest Conjuring movie, which looked pretty interesting, and 63 Things You Missed in Spiral, which I haven't watched either, so but they look interesting. Chills, I haven't been following his stuff lately. There was a short time where I started rewatching his content, but the thing is, I haven't been keeping up with anything other than what's been going on with Disney and Universal and Netflix. And there isn't anything new going on Hulu outside of American Horror Story and American Horror Stories. And you can also follow those on Instagram. So I guess you can consider this your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest in information regarding horror. I would recommend doing a back-to-back of The Strangers 1 and 2. Totally different vibes and feels, but they're good. If you watch them back-to-back, the 10-year decade span that it took for them to make the second one actually kind of makes sense with the way the second one starts out. and you can watch this in several qualities. I'm watching it in 144. I recommend for the new viewers to loop the video, blast this through your loudspeakers in your home, and make sure the quality is at 720. Actually, what you should probably do is set up one of those Bluetooth speakers in your parents' room and then just, put this on a loop early in the morning, probably about 3 a.m., which I'm told is the witching hour. But see, I've deduced that that doesn't make any sense because the time zone difference would make it, a different time somewhere else, and the entire world would have to be the same time in order for that to be an actual thing that exists, I feel. So, but anyways, I think I'm currently watching My Best Friend is Invisible, but oh boy, ain't that the truth? But I think that's pretty much all I have to say on the topic of A Shack on Shack Street and everything else currently going on right now. I don't really have any plans this October myself, other than to just follow what everyone else is up to, and then, assuming I do another one of these, report this, what I've learned, back to you guys. Also, if anybody's interested, there's a new Peppa Pig theme park. I have no idea what this show is, but I know it's a children's show, so I'll probably never watch it. But I follow these Disney vloggers, and they're talking about it right now, so it has to be of some interest to me. But seriously, Netflix has so many vampire TV shows, all of which I'm watching over again because I've already seen them all. Except Castlevania, I can't seem to get into it. I don't know. I'm not big on cartoons, so I started watching The Devil Below, but I'm not really all that interested, to be honest. And I started watching that quite a bit ago. Rust Creek is good, but that's kind of a parallel of Alone, if you've seen that on Hulu. And definitely, even though everyone's already heard about it, I definitely have to recommend everyone watch Willy's Wonderland because that's Nicolas Cage at his best. Also watch The Houses That Built October 1 and 2 if you want to see a movie that documents haunted house footage rather than just a YouTube channel. But if you're going to search out a YouTube channel, I recommend Hollywood Gothic because he was always my go-to guy for the haunted house walkthroughs. So everybody strap on your VR headsets and your 3D stereo headphones and immerse yourself in the low, if your pockets are empty and you're looking for a haunted house, that's the best way I recommend doing it. If you can't actually afford to go to one or do not have one close enough to where you can walk or drive there, take a bus, take a plane, take an RV, do what you gotta do. But I'm just gonna be watching it on YouTube. If you're not subbed, you can sub to the channel. It's literally written on the title underneath Goosebumps. Sorry, I keep having to press that because my screen keeps dimming, even though it doesn't apply to what the stream actually looks like. So I apologize for that. That's more my... I can't have it dim theory of evolution. But, like this title says, it's a real dead end. So I will see you all in the next one. And I'm just going to say what I always say in every single video. Peace out. If you guys find out any cool information or anything, you know, enjoy that information. And speaking of information, I hope that you were able to get something out of this first podcast. I don't know if I enjoy doing these. Not even sure if it's going to be a thing that's not going to be condemned in most countries for how good the quality of the podcast is. I'm sure most of you will be listening to this on your way to work or in the coffee shop or while you're jogging at night. I know I won't. Actually, I probably will. Not while I'm jogging at night, just while I'm sitting here. But anyways, special shout out to me, because why not, for making this wonderful artwork, which is my own illustration and reproduction of the artwork. And there will be more future illustrations I do via a Photoshop-esque type setup in the future. But for now, we're just going to leave it like this. We'll call it Season 1. So, yes. Everybody, go watch some Goosebumps. Go watch some horror movies. But not too many. And then have yourselves a positive day or night, depending on when you listen to this. Or if you listen to this. But, you know what they say, dreams can come true. And, like to think that we all have a special place in this world. And that's why I put Slappy on top of the streetlight. That's his special place. So, peace, love, happiness, global wealth, and widespread joy. And finally, peace out, dog or cat. And obviously humans, of course, too, because I can't leave you guys out. I mean, this was mostly for the dogs and the cats, but, I guess you guys can listen too. It's just they have better hearing, so this was intended for them.